Hey folks, I'm Henry with BrainStorm Acres, and I'm getting ready to go move some straw bales. Now you may wonder why I'm out now. It's 6:30 in the morning. Well, I'm only out now because I waited until there was enough sun for you to be able to see what I'm doing. I've been up since 4:30. We move our start times for work based on the season, based on the temperatures, and based on the weather. I'm out here this morning at the greenhouse to pick up some straw bales that we use to insulate the side of the greenhouse in the wintertime. It was 55 degrees at 4:30 this morning. Now, only 2 hours later, it's 70 degrees. It's going to be warm today. Yesterday, we got into the low 90s. Today, we'll probably be in the mid 90s, and the sun makes it really hot. We start early in the day to avoid the heat of the day. Around here, that means upper 90s to the low 100s. Normally, this time of year, the temperatures will be perhaps in the mid 80s at the heat of the day. This year, it's getting into the mid 90s, which is a bit warm. So, I tried to get started early. I only waited until 6:30 this morning so that I could bring you along. And you could actually see what I'm doing. Now 4:30 is plenty light enough to come out and work, but it doesn't work so well for the camera. So here we go. Now I made a small miscalculation in putting the straw bale garden together. I only brought 12 bales down. I should have brought 18 or 20. I just miscalculated. Now these straw bales are pretty heavy. They're still very wet. And because the straw bales have started to compost in place, they're getting a little wonky. They'll be great for the straw bale garden, but they are difficult to move because the strings loosen up. Here we go. When you're working outside, it's a good idea to know what the weather's projected to be. We follow the weather forecast religiously. We set our lives by it as much as we can, because if we can work when it's cool, that's better. I'm really glad we have this garden cart. It's actually more a small garden trailer. According to the information that came with the package, it will carry 1,000 pounds. Well, these straw bales aren't close to 1,000 pounds, but they do have an awful lot of weight, and as they're starting to compost, it makes it really essential to have something to hold it all the way down here. Now it's about 150 feet from the greenhouse down here into the second straw bale garden bed. And what I can guarantee you is that the straw bales would not survive being moved strictly by being carried by hand. I've been moving straw bales, Irene's been on pea picking duty. It's light enough to see what's going on with the peas. They're dried off, so we won't be moving any disease from plant to plant. And we'll have breakfast when we're done here. It looks like I waited too long to get out this morning. The biting flies are out, and they're doing what their name says. They're biting. I don't mind insects that hang around a little bit. I really don't care for these biting flies. They're not as bad as some places I've lived. When we lived in Maine, the black flies were horrible. I tell people that a black fly is a small fly or medium-sized fly, that when it opens its mouth, it's all teeth. That's only a little bit of an exaggeration, but they can take a hunk of meat out of you and do some serious damage. Even though the bales are starting to compost, one side is dry and the other side is pretty wet. The dry side sheds an awful lot of dust.
There's some sort of excitement going on over there.
Thanks for coming along on this little bit of our day. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.